Hello guys, so how are you? So we are coming from IT boosters, learning today's, leading tomorrow's, build your career path and boost your skills. If you want a reskill or upskill, then contact mentioned below email IDs and the phone numbers 820-870-1904. We will guide step by step you if you are facing any problems in your existing project, or if you want to create your own application, if you are doing if you want understand any technology, you can reach out us at these contact numbers. So today's session, these are a background for the IT starts. And now today's sessions, we are seeing how it's a request workflow in a MVC application. As an end user, how it's as a developer, how I can understand it's if any end user is requesting any resources, so what is the workflow of inside the MVC architectures. So today we will see how it's going to the request workflow inside the MVC application. So I will open the paint. I have already a previous video we have discussed this three pillars how it's the interaction between each orders, models, views, and the controls. So and this video also we will discuss how it's request workflow. Request workflow means as an end user, if any end user is requesting any resources, suppose this is I will how to create, yeah, you can just imagine this is my end user. Suppose you can consider this is a user. So I am mentioning here user. Okay. So and I will point here, this is our browsers. Okay. So I will this is the previous video discussion. So as an end user, so I'm requesting some resources. So end user, what is the requesting? Some resources. So I will show you. I will create here. So as an end user, I'm asking that to the browser you can open itbootstuff.com. Okay, so I am asking to that particular browser you can open that itbootstuff.com web portals. So how its internal workflow goes. I told my previous multiple videos that itbootstuff.com is developed is only jQuery and the Bootstrap and the SQL databases. So as an end user, I am asking to browser, you can open the itbootstrap.com. So I have requested to the browser. So next request goes to the browser will be hitting to the not in views. So it's a controller. So I will here. Yeah, it's going to the controller. So browser will be hit to the controllers. So this is our second step. And the controller will be deciding which is the startup page. Like I have discussed in my previous videos. So I will share again that these Visual Studio files. So route, we have discussed that app start methods, and inside the app start method we have the route config, and we have defined the map route methods, and inside the map route method, we have defining the template. Which template? Which is the startup page, which is the startup controller, and the action methods. Here we have defined the by default action method and by default the controller names. So we have discussed this workflow, like a request workflow inside the MVC architecture. How it's like as an end user, if any end user is requesting any resources, how it's internal behavior inside the MVC application. So I can see here, like end user is asking to the IT bootstrap, it goes to the browser, browser is hitting to the controller, and controller will be deciding the which is the by default view or the models to manipulate the data or to give the response. So here I am asking to the request. So I will put here a request. So who is the requester here? Browser is the requester. Default browser, who is the requester? End user is the requester. End user is asking to the browser, I want the itbootstrap.com resources. So browser will be hitting to the like not a particular controller, but it goes to the like it's first hit to the our local DNS servers. What is the I will make another video in detail for the domain name servers. Domain name servers, every web portal, every .com, every website, we have a DNS servers. DNS servers, that means a domain name servers. So like I will not capture it here like a DNS workflow. I will create another separate video for the DNS workflow. So in this video, we are targeting only request workflow for the MVC architectures. So we will not much more discuss on the DNS, but I will show you like whenever we are like hitting our end user request, it goes to the our local computer. That means a browser, and browser is finding the local server, local DNS server, and that local DNS server is finding to the root servers. Every local DNS servers, it's hitting to first step is the root server. That root server will be finding to the domain DNS servers. So see here like every root server is finding to the domain DNS servers. Again, domain DNS server is contacting to the DNS server. And then DNS server is contacting to the our final authorized this itbootstrap.com where we have hosted this application. That means final step is a DNS server, and then DNS server is contacting to the controllers. Then it's contacting to the controller. So I will here just putting one line, and here I will mention a DNS workflow. Before hitting to the controller, we have the DNS workflow. We'll discuss in more details. And DNS workflow, it goes to the that controllers. But before like it's a browser is not hitting to that controller, but before controller also we have a multiple workflow. Which workflow? This is called as a DNS workflow. DNS workflow, what is the long form of DNS? Domain name server. What is the like domain name servers? Like we have developed this IT bootstrap, we required data resources. Whatever we are using HTML, CSS, jQuery, we need to some space on servers. And that server is pointing to the like some data center, some regions. Inside some regions, we have like storage that data center in our files. So whenever end user is asking that itbootstrap.com, it's hitting to the browser is hitting to the DNS workflow, and that DNS workflow is deciding to hitting to our controller, and controller will be deciding which is the startup page to load to the browsers. So here I will mark it as a response. So controller is sending to the browser. Yeah, this is we have found, like whatever you were asking, we have found some data, and this is the response you can see here. I will mark as a response here. So understand, this is the request workflow for the MVC architecture. Request workflow for the MVC architecture. As an end user, it's hitting to the browser. Browser is hitting to the DNS workflow. DNS workflow is hitting to the controller. Controller will be deciding to which is the resources user want. So they are finding and they are sending the response, and user will be see the data on a browser. So so this is the workflow for the MVC. Yeah. So this is the request workflow for MVC architectures. Request workflow for MVC architectures. You can see here, I will repeat, I will repeat some short description with that request workflow. I will make another video for the DNS workflow. This is very important to understand how it's behaving that application DNS workflow. But I will continue this small video for the request workflow for the architecture. As the end user is asking for the browser is hitting to the DNS workflow. DNS workflow is hitting to the controller. Controller is checking with that particular resource in a model or view and sending the response back to the browser, and browser is visible to the user. So you can understand this workflow before do the development in a MVC applications. Understand? So we'll make a DNS workflow video in our channel. Which channels I will show you. We have the upskilling repository. Inside the upskilling repository, I will make a DNS workflow inside this IIS and the performance. I will make one short video on DNS workflow, and I will upload here inside the IIS and the performance playlist. And like whatever we are making this request workflow video, you can find inside the MVC series. So I'm here, MVC series. You can see here 2 videos. Like first video is how to create MVC first application, and the second is a MVC architecture. And now we are making the third video for a request workflow in a MVC architectures. Okay, you can see this recorded video. If you are not understanding the basic request workflow, how it's a workflow inside the MVC, you can see later these videos. So thank you. Be connected with IT Bootstraps if you want like a reskilling, upskilling your career, or if you are facing any technical issues, your existing project, or if you want to like develop any new project, be connected us. We will guide you step by step in details. So thank you. Bye-bye.